Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at what could potentially be the shocking moment in Season 9, Episode 16, the finale of Season 9. So, of course, for comic readers, if they're going to do that huge massacre scene, the equivalent of Game of Thrones, The Red Wedding, in the lead up to the finale in Episode 15, which is going to air tonight, then what's going to be the big, huge thing that they're going to show us in the finale? If they don't have anything, that would be confusing. That'll be a little underwhelming for a finale. So they have to have something in there, and they've already hinted that they might give us something huge in the finale. So in this video, I'm going to run down some theories that are surfacing or going around regarding what could potentially be this huge, shocking scene that we're going to see in the finale. The first one that I'm going to talk about right off the bat is a huge death. So that's been going around that aside from the massacre scene in the lead up to the finale, we're also going to see another huge death in the finale itself. Now, I have put my predictions out regarding who I think is going to end up dying in the lineup tonight. But aside from that, I think another huge death that we might see is Ezekiel. I think what they're going to do with Ezekiel is sort of like what they did with Abraham back in Season 6. Not give him his comic death, give him another death that's iconic, that's close to his comic death. So in a way, they're doing something like that, where they're not going to give Ezekiel his iconic comic death, but they're going to give him an additional death that's going to be iconic maybe in the TV show, close to his comic death. Now, this death in the finale, the equivalent of it doesn't exist in the comics. But I just think that they might be doing something similar, getting him killed off in Season 9 in some other fashion. He could potentially die by the hands of Alpha or Beta. I think it makes more sense for it to be Alpha, but it could also be Beta, because we have Alpha doing all the killing so far. We might actually see Beta doing it. But I think that could be one death that we're going to see, a shocking death in the finale. Aside from this death, we could also see some other big things. Another thing that we could see is another showdown between Daryl and Beta. We had that one showdown, but we might see another one. Obviously, they've hinted at that we might see another one. Would it be too early to see it in Season 9 or another one in Season 9? Yes, but there's a chance that it could happen. The third thing is we could see Negan escape again. Now, in the comics, Negan did escape, but Negan's escape in the comics was very different than his escape in the TV show. Now, in the comics, Negan only escaped once, but in the TV show, he escaped once. He went out there and saw for himself that there's nothing out there for him. And I think they're gonna have another scenario where he escapes again. But this time, Negan's motivations are going to be extremely different than the first time. And they might actually remix a comic story. Will it happen in the finale or not? Or will we see that scene with Alpha and the Whisperers in the finale? I don't think so. But I think a huge thing that might happen in the finale is Negan escaping again. And maybe hinting that he might actually be thinking about joining the Whisperers or something along those lines. Now, other than these three theories, there's also another theory that's going around that is, I think, a great theory. I absolutely love the theory. I first heard about this theory on Make a Path Presents YouTube channel, Ronnie Hayes, so I don't claim any ownership over this theory. But this theory is a great one. So what the theory is that in the finale, at the end of it, as a cliffhanger, what we're going to see is Eugene and Gabriel messing around on the radio, trying to kind of connect to people that are out there, much like what they already hinted at or build up early on in Season 9 when Rick was still alive. So we see them working on the radio. And also another thing that I do want to say in brackets is that in one of the images that we see for tonight's episode, we have Eugene carrying around some sort of antenna and some sort of maybe stuff for the radio that he might have traded at the fair. And, those stuff might actually help him be able to be more well-equipped in, trying to contact people that are out there. And what we could potentially see is once they're kind of listening to see what's out there, they hear a familiar voice on the radio. Perhaps Rick himself. We know he's out there. We know he went to a community that's very far away. But, you know, we might actually have that happen. We might have Rick on the radio saying something along the lines of, I'm Rick Grimes, I'm looking for my family. And if they do something like this pretty much connects to what he said in his final episode. I'm looking for my family. So that's something that could potentially work if they do it right. And I absolutely love this idea. Now, just to kind of add to this would be a great callback to Glenn on the radio when he said, hey dumbass, in the very first episode. So I think that could also connect to that, which is absolutely cool and interesting. Another thing that really fits is, for example, if Michonne and Judith are there to hear Rick on the radio, this could very well connect to what Judith said. I'm beginning to forget his voice. It's fading away, referring to Rick's voice. So I think in those regards, it could also fit in. But also, this would be a great way to set up the Michonne send-off story that we're going to see in Season 10. We know Season 10 is going to be Danai Gurira's final season. And she's going to leave in some capacity. Not die, but she's going to leave. And she might potentially join Rick in the movies. That rumor has been going around. So this would be a great way to build up that story, that send-off story in Season 10. If Michonne hears Rick on the radio, she's gonna want to go out there looking for him. If we have the radio going in and out and Rick says something, that could be a clue. You know, Michonne could use that to go looking for Rick. So I think that could pretty much work as well. And I think it would be a great way to build up the Michonne send-off story for Season 10. And as a whole, I think this would be a very good reveal to end the season. It would definitely be one of those holy shit moments for the season. But also, they could mix in the Commonwealth story in here as well. The Commonwealth are just another big community that they're gonna find later on, not anytime soon. But I think they could be doing a remix of that and bringing that in, or parts of that in, a little early, where Eugene and Father Gabriel both kind of get in contact with someone from that community. Now, I don't think Rick is from that community. I think that story is separate, but I do think that they can intertwine those together and mix them together. As a final thing I want to say, what we could also have is Rick at the end of his first movie contacting his family. And we could see that scene that we might see in the finale playing out in the movie, but it'll be from Rick's perspective, not from the survivor's perspective. So I think that could be another great way to kind of connect the dots and to connect the storylines and the timeline together. But that's basically my predictions about what I think we're going to see in the finale with regards to the shocking things that we might see. But I definitely want to know everyone's opinions about this. What do you think the shocking scene in the finale could be? And do you agree with any of the theories that are going around? That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads.